Hello my nerdlings, if you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy, and today we are doing my November wrap-up. I read 5 books in the month of November, which is, I think, my shortest reading month this year. Like, books I've gotten through wise? Maybe? I don't know. I just know that pretty much every other month this year I read a crap ton, and I've only read 5 this month, which is still great. I'm not saying it's bad or anything that I only got through 5, but the 5 I did read, I really enjoyed. So there's that. First one I read was The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. This is about Jeannie, who inherits her aunt's cafe in this sleepy little town of Dream Harbor, Massachusetts. And while she's there, she meets this dreamy farmer named Logan, and it's the story of their friendship that blossoms into something more. It is a very cute romance. Don't be judged by the cover. It is spicy. Don't be fooled by the cover. It is spicy. I didn't realize it was spicy going into it, because the person that recommended it to me is one that doesn't normally read spice. So when Carol said, "You should read this," I thought, okay, so it's just going to be a cute, cozy romance. It's a cute, spicy, cozy romance. So this was book 1. I think I rated this like 4.5 star. So definitely great. After that, I read The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, again by Laurie Gilmore. This is following Hazel and Noah. Noah is Logan's best friend. Hazel is a friend that Jeannie makes once she's moved to the town. And I think, sorry if you can hear construction noises in the background, we're replacing our front door. So, sorry. Hazel's dad is one of Hazel's dads is the mayor of Dream Harbor. So it's their little romance, and Noah is a fisherman. Hazel runs the bookstore. Noah is a transient to the town, like Jeannie. Like, she didn't grow up with all these people, but he's been there a long time, that he has like sustained roots. And then next, I read The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. This is the 3rd book in the series. Book 4 comes out, I think, in March, and book 5 comes out next fall, something like that. This is following Kira North and Bennett Ellis. Bennett is Jeannie's brother from first book. He's coming to visit for the holidays. And Kira buys a Christmas tree farm thinking she can homestead because, you know, Instagram and TikTok and all kinds of social media has her convinced it's easy. So she buys this Christmas tree farm with the intentions of never actually opening the Christmas tree farm. Like, she wants to have her own farm, and she wants to be away from people and left alone. She wants to learn how to be independent, because she's a twin and has always relied on her twin. And now that her twin is married and moved, it's her chance to try and prove herself. Bennett is the typical white knight, I guess you would call him. Like, he needs to fix everything for everyone, and he tries to make everyone's life easier, and it's their story. She is definitely a Scrooge. He is not, and it's trying to get her to love the Christmas spirit. So there's those 3. After that, I read Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. This is the 3rd book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. The first was like, what, Swift and Saddled or Done and Dusted, One's the first one, one's the second one. This one we're following Teddy Anderson and Gus Ryder. Gus is the sibling to two of the people in the second and first book. He's the oldest. He's a single dad. He runs the ranch now that his dad has retired. Teddy is the firecracker of a woman that always made his little sister get in trouble growing up because they were best buds, and if Emmy was doing something wrong, it's usually Teddy was the ringleader. So he doesn't have the best opinion of Teddy, but when Teddy needs a summer job, he hires her as his nanny for his daughter. Oh, I can't remember his daughter's name. It's a cute name too. Riley. Riley was her name. So it's this cute romance of single dad, grumpy, very grumpy, single dad, nanny, who is very much, what's the female version of a golden retriever? Like usually they say boys have males have the golden retriever energy. She's the female version of that. And it's their blossoming story. Very cute, very well done. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for book 4 to come out, which I think is coming out in March. I don't know. I'm planning on doing an anticipated releases for next year, and when it does, it'll be in there. And then, lastly, this book is arguably my favorite book of all of 2024, and that is including reading ACOTAR and Fourth Wing and all the hockey romances I've read this year. This is my number 1 book for the year. I don't need to do some bracket thing to try and figure it out or determine that. This is my number 1 book. It's 6 out of 5 stars. Anybody that disagrees with me, you're allowed to have your own opinion, even if it is wrong. But this book, I didn't realize I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. Like, to be honest, I was really hesitant at first. Even when I bought it, I was hesitant. I was on the fence. I was like, this has a lot of keywords for me. But at the same time, I don't know if you can hear the saw. So I'm just okay. But at the same time, like, I was concerned because I hadn't heard anyone talk about it. And that is The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I've heard people talk about Abigail's other books, and they weren't always the best received. But I really don't care, because this book, cream of the crop, tip of the top, is Mary Poppins and We Don't Stop. Like, that's how I feel. Like, she is the Mary Poppins of the books I have read this year. All right. In this, we are following Lyra, and Lyra is a mortal that is chosen by Hades to participate in a competition called the Crucible. And the Crucible is every 100 years. Yep, every 100 years, a god chooses, each of the Greek gods chooses a mortal champion to participate in their behalf, and whoever wins the Crucible, that god becomes king of the gods. And for the first time ever, Hades is participating. And he just happens to choose Lyra, who is cursed by Zeus. So this is a fantasy romance, great for, I don't want to say, like, it gives Hunger Games vibes. But it also, like, Hunger Games was just like the dome, right? The first book, was just the dome, right? And they're all in there, and it's fight to the death. These, like, there are trials. Each god has a specific event that they have to go through. And whether they live or die, it depends, right? So it's Hunger Games meets Percy Jackson meets kind of Divergent-y, because they had different tests, like when they were going through the school thing, that school part, the selection part. That's the part I was thinking of. But oh my gosh, I'm going to have a video, because I'm making my husband read this now. I'm going to have a video with him where we sit and we're going to discuss this. Whether he likes it or not, he's going to participate in us having a very spoilery filled discussion on film for y'all. I enjoyed this so much that I actually bought my book bestie a copy for her Advent. I bought my sister-in-law a copy for Christmas. I'm pretty sure Amy doesn't watch my videos. Oops. Amy, if you're watching this, you didn't hear that. But this is also a very gorgeous book. The second book comes out in September of next year, and I have already pre-ordered it. I cannot wait to get back into this world. I have already thought about a reread for this. Yep. I finished it a week and a half ago, and I'm looking at a reread. There is some spice. It's not like ACOTAR level spice, but there is some intimate moments, if that makes sense. So, best book of the year so far. Granted, I still have the month of December, but judging by what I have on that TBR, I don't think we're going to beat it. So, like the video if you did, comment down below what you read in the month of November, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Until next time, you are loved and you are valid.